Diane Webb found the bank statements by accident while closing her mother's accounts. 6 checks had cleared in the 3 weeks after Constance Webb's death. The signatures looked right, the dates did not. Her mother had been gone before a single one of those checks was written. Constance Webb was 82 years old and had lived in Portland, Oregon her entire adult life, working as a librarian for 28 years before retiring with careful savings and a small investment account totaling just under $1 million. Her daughter, Diane, 49, had managed her care through a long decline following a stroke in 2020. Her son, Stuart, 55, lived in Nevada, called occasionally, and had borrowed money from Constance twice in the previous decade without repaying either amount. In 2021, Constance quietly updated her will following a difficult conversation with her attorney. She removed Stuart entirely, citing the unpaid debts and his extended absence from her life. Diane was named sole beneficiary. Constance told her attorney she had made her peace with the decision and did not wish to discuss it further. Stuart had no knowledge of the change. He learned of it only after Constance passed away in February of 2023, when the estate attorney contacted him to confirm he had no claim under the current will. What Stuart did next took less than a week to plan and considerably longer for investigators to unravel. He returned to his mother's home under the pretense of helping clear her belongings and located her personal checkbook in the drawer where she had always kept it. Over the following 3 weeks, Stuart wrote 6 checks totaling $980,000, made payable to a shell account he had established in Nevada under a business name with no actual operations. He used Constance's signature style, which he had observed for decades, and backdated each check to dates before her death. The checks cleared because the account had not yet been frozen pending estate settlement, a gap in timing Stuart had specifically calculated. Diane discovered the withdrawals when she received the final bank statement during estate administration. She noticed the check numbers were sequential and recent, far beyond where her mother's checkbook had been when she last helped manage her finances months earlier. She called her mother's bank and requested images of all 6 checks. When she saw the dates and the amounts, she drove directly to her attorney's office. Diane retained attorney James Kowalski, a probate and fraud specialist in Portland, Oregon. James immediately reported the checks to the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office and obtained a forensic handwriting examiner within days. The examiner compared the signatures to verified samples spanning years of Constance's banking history and found clear evidence of forgery. She noted that while Stuart had mimicked the general style, the pressure patterns and specific letter formations were inconsistent with Constance's natural handwriting at any stage of her life. James also obtained Stuart's travel records, showing he had been in Portland during the exact window the checks were written, directly contradicting his initial claim that he had not visited the home after his mother's death. The hearing was held before the Honorable Judge Rachel Holt at the Multnomah County Circuit Court. James Kowalski presented the bank records, the forensic analysis, Stuart's travel records, and testimony from Constance's longtime bank manager, who confirmed the account had shown no unusual activity whatsoever during Constance's lifetime. Stuart's attorney argued the checks represented gifts Constance had prepared in advance before her death. James Kowalski pointed to the forensic findings and asked the court to explain how a woman who had removed Stuart from her will entirely just 2 years earlier would simultaneously prepare nearly $900,000 in undisclosed gifts to him without telling her attorney, her daughter, or her bank. Judge Rachel Holt ruled the checks fraudulent and ordered full restitution to the estate. She referred Stuart Webb to the Multnomah County District Attorney for check fraud, forgery, and theft from an estate. Stuart was convicted on all 3 counts and sentenced to 4 years in Oregon State Prison. Diane completed the estate settlement and used a portion of the funds to establish a small reading fund at the Portland Branch Library where her mother had worked for nearly 30 decades. Constance Webb made a clear and deliberate decision about her estate while she was alive and of sound mind. Her son tried to override that decision with a stolen checkbook 3 weeks after she was gone. The court made sure her decision stood. Would you have caught those checks before they cleared? Tell us in the comments below. And if this story moved you, subscribe to Court of Shadows for more courtroom drama stories every week.